me now is CEO of Women's Forum Australia, Rachael Wong. Hi, Rachael. Look, I spoke about this topic on Monday with Chris Kenny, but I still can't quite get over the fact that the Victorian government wants to include trans women in an inquiry on women's pain. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty miffed about the idea of biological men cosplaying about pain suffered by women and being indulged on an issue that's as serious as this. What are your thoughts?
I think it's absolutely idiotic and it's offensive. I saw one woman comment that it's like saying that pain is basically a fashion accessory for men who want to be validated as women. I mean, including men in an inquiry into women's pain makes absolutely no sense. Women's and men's health conditions are completely different because of the way we're biologically wired. I think that it's an absolute slap in the face to women whose health has been historically under-researched and undiagnosed. We finally have this opportunity to really dig deep into what's happening with women's health conditions. And at this point, the government just said, well, actually, we're just going to include men in this as well. Women are already, basically losing out on female-only spaces, female-only sports, female-only services. And now apparently we're not even entitled to our own pain.
But the thing is, Rachael, ultimately, we need to know what the results are from this study to be able to improve healthcare for women. If you're not putting the right information in, you're not going to end up with the right results.
100%. And that should be entirely obvious, especially to Premier Jacinta Allen and Health Minister Marianne Thomas, who are both female, who know that women's health issues are very, very different to men's, and who know that these issues need to be researched. And that if you're including men who have completely different health issues, then obviously the inquiry is going to be tainted.
And this isn't the first time biological men have been allowed to run roughshod over women's issues. Australia E-Safety Commissioner Julian McGrant came out to accuse Donald Trump and his followers of being misinformation mines online.
During his presidency, Donald Trump not only savagely abused foes online with impunity, but was identified as a major superspreader of mis and disinformation.
But this same E-Safety Commissioner, who appears to have been on quite the mission to censor factual tweets about trans women breastfeeding. At what point does the pendulum swing back to common sense after the narrative has demanded compliance with an obviously anti-science position?
This position from Julia McGrant is quite ironic, isn't it? Because she is someone who is basically saying that men can be women, that men can breastfeed, that it's a hate crime to say otherwise, and yet she's the one who's policing misinformation. She's probably not the best person to be doing that, and I think it really shows the issue with putting in the hands of one person or a team of people basically control over truth online. But, I think that we're already seeing a swing back to truth and to biological reality. I think some of these issues, especially the gender ideology ones, have gone too far. When we started really speaking out strongly on these issues several years ago, there weren't many people speaking out. There's been a huge shift over the last few years. People are willing to risk their livelihoods and to get sued and etc. But they're still speaking out because they're absolutely sick of it. And so I think we've definitely seen a sea change on this.
Yeah, absolutely. And even Tesla and SpaceX CEO Elon Musk said that he was tricked into giving consent for his child to go on puberty blockers, adding that he believes the woke mind virus figuratively killed his son. This is what he had to say in an interview with Jordan Peterson.
So I was tricked into doing this, it wasn't explained to me that puberty blockers are actually just sterilization drugs. And so I lost my son, essentially. They call it dead naming for a reason.
Yeah,
All right, so the reason it's called dead naming is because your son is dead. So my son Xavier is dead, killed by the woke mind virus.
And this shows that anyone, no matter how wealthy or worldly, can get caught up and caught out in the vagaries of gender ideology. You did mention, or you just touched on it before, but are we really seeing more of that pushback from parents?
I think we are seeing the pushback, and I think having someone like Elon Musk speak out is going to really I hope give parents a lot of courage to continue to do that, because someone with that kind of influence, someone who's probably one of the most intelligent people in the world, was captured by this ideology. He's admitted that it was a mistake signing those forms, that he was tricked, but he's come out and he said that. So, I think that hopefully is going to be redemptive for parents to know that no matter where they are on their child's journey and supporting them, that it's not too late to step back and reflect and to think, well, maybe this isn't quite right. Maybe I've been, misled by the medical profession. And I think they are the ones that do have a lot to answer for here, because they, of all people, know that human beings cannot change sex. And what they are doing to children and young people in the name of this insidious ideology is an absolute medical scandal.
Absolutely. And when you go back and think about even the things that J.K. Rowling was saying, even 6 months ago, 12 months ago, 18 months ago, she was really at the forefront of this pushback. And it is good to see people like Elon Musk and other, senior and well-known figures starting to push back on this, because it's much more difficult for everyday people to be able to do that. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us, Rachael Wong.